Hello and welcome! My name is Merely Adequate, and Bebop and I are so glad that you could join us today. Well, I'm actually a little Bebopless right now. Minecraft dogs don't really seem to care for water all that much, so I'm out here by myself doing a little bit of a water adventure. And you may be wondering, why? Why are you doing a water adventure? There's no water anywhere near the base that you're working on. And you would be correct. But I have a little bit of an adventure I need to do today, and it has to do with Bebop. I don't know how many of you have pets, dogs or cats or birds, but other than asking you for food or to go for a walk, it's a little hard to communicate with them. But if your pet is asking you to build a massive building with a giant machine inside to specific architectural drawings, it gets a little bit more difficult. So a lot of what I'm doing is just guessing what it is he wants me to do. And I'm just trying to be observant and see what he's doing and try to help out. I did notice the other day that they were working with a lot of the amethyst crystals. And they can be a little bit hard to collect. So I thought I saw a method of doing that would be really helpful. It uses water and a few other mechanics involving water that I do need. So that's why I'm out here adventuring. So let me do a little bit more boating around and let's see if I can find what it is I am looking for. Okay, I think we found the first thing we are looking for. Here's a sunken ship. Now let's throw on my my hat and let's go swimming. I think all ships have what I'm looking for. You can probably guess at this point. There's only one really great thing you can get from one of these that guaranteed every time. And let's give it a check. And there it is. I thought there were going to be two of them. I don't know what that second one is, but that's all I was looking for. I needed a treasure map. It looks like I'm really close. I think I got lucky on this one. I know they're all usually pretty close, but this is unusually close. Okay, X marks the spot. Let's get digging. So I know these things are sometimes hard to find, but I don't think it's here. This is probably one of the biggest areas I've ever dug out looking for one of these things, and I don't see it anywhere. So I guess we'll throw this guy out of there. Goodbye, and go and get another one. Okay, boat number 2. And great, treasure map, and we out. Okay. I was afraid it was going to take me to the exact same place, but this looks like it's a different one. Alright, because I don't think the other one was anywhere near ice. So let's go check this one out. Okay, attempt number 2. Yay, okay, he got it this time. And that's what I'm looking for! Yay! Okay, now we have to do part 2. Okay, let's go find the next thing I need. Okay, there is the next thing I need. Now, I don't want to confuse you. I am not going to tackle this entire sea temple. I only need, I believe, 16 prismarine 16 prismarine blocks. Now, that dude, he just made it hard on me. I understand that. But if I can just slowly dig out 16, then I'll have everything I need. So I have, I think, a trick up my sleeve of how I want to tackle this. So digging with mining fatigue already makes things super hard, and then digging underwater makes it even worse again. So I thought, since this is all I need, I thought maybe I could just get rid of the water and make it a little bit easier on myself. So let's give that a go. Okay, I took the sand from when I was treasure hunting and filled in the area around this top point. Now, even though it's slow digging, my plan is to go down here and then use the torch to eliminate all of this stuff, which should be much faster than obviously trying to dig it out. So let's give it a go. Okay, well, that didn't work. If I was on Java, I probably could have done that pretty easily by shoveling with one hand and throwing in the torch with the left. But on Bedrock, you can't do that. So let's just see if I can dig out some of this prismarine without dying. Oh, okay. That's not what I had planned. I almost died. And look at this. I totally have my armor with me. I just didn't have it on. Oh, man. Okay. Well, there are 3 of those guys. I guess I'll just go kill them, I guess. And then that should make this easier, probably, than what I was trying. So, I guess I'm doing this. Here we go. And now we're on to plan number 3. Just kill a bunch of these dudes until I get enough shards to make my 16 blocks. I'm clearly not great at Minecraft. Okay, so after a failed plan of some kind of sand thing that did not work, a little bit of fighting and some really slow digging, I've got actually more than I need. I only need a 16. So I guess let's go back and do the next part, and hopefully the mining fatigue will go away. Okie dokie. The first part of the adventure is over, and now we need to do a little bit of building. I am here in my geode. I think I need to do some digging out and prepare the room for the next part. So the thing that is difficult with a geode is how far apart everything is. Let me give you a quick peek. So if you see here, I put up some dirt and stuff, and just so I can walk around and try to get to the tops and the bottoms of all these geodes, and then they fall on top of each other, and you can't quite reach them, and you can't get to them, and it's kind of difficult to gather all this. So I was thinking that if I dug this out, and I filled it full of water, then as I dig them out, they'll float up. And I think I have a couple other ideas about how I can auto-collect it, kind of. So let me first dig this out. I think it's just going to be easier if I make it into like a big square. So let me dig it out into like a big square or rectangle, and we will start the next part, okay? Okay, a perfect square rectangle thing. Next, we're going to fill it in with water. But I need to put some signs right here because I need to continue going that direction sometimes. If you remember, I made a little bit of a spider spawner farm thing for some string, and that's that direction. So I want to put some signs right down through here so that when I swim down, I can continue on down, okay? Okay, that took a little bit more work because even though I'd seen people do this before, I wasn't quite sure how to do it. If you fill up solid water below and the top layer is not solid but flowing, then everything that comes up will flow this direction, and then I can have them go into these hoppers here, ending up in this chest. I'd never done that before, and it took me quite a bit of trial and error to figure it out, but I finally did it. So now it's time for this conduit. I'm going to place it down there in the bottom, making it so that I can breathe and work in this area. All right, there it is. The conduit is installed in the floor, making it so I can breathe and I can see. And I can go ahead and mine some of the crystals, and they float up and along and over to the hoppers. Easy. Way better than trying to walk along the dirt scaffolding. So now we can start collecting some of this stuff and get it ready for Bebop and his friends. Okay, well, that was a fun little side adventure. I think it's time we get back to our base. What do you think? All right, let's go. Well, I was just getting ready to do some work, and you may notice a few changes behind me whenever Bebop and his friends kind of flagged me down and wanted me to check out something. Hi, Bebop. I see you have a new version of your contraption here. I'm still not sure what it does. I know I saw the first one, and I believe there was a little bit of a fire. And then I saw a second one that had some more amethyst on it. And now it looks like you've ramped up even more energy. I think I see some lava and water creating some steam, maybe some geothermal energy going on over there. And more amethyst. And so, yeah, why don't you give it a go and see what you got, okay? Let's check it out. Okay, looking good. Well, what's it supposed to do? I'm still not sure what... Oh, well, that is impressive. I haven't seen that before. Is that what it's supposed to do, Bebop? Is that how it's supposed to work? Okay. Well, I think it's an improvement, but I think it just shut down on you. Okay. Well, I guess I'll leave you to your work, and I think you're wanting to put this in the build, right? So I should probably get busy because I don't really have room for that right now. Yeah, so I have some ideas and I started work. So let me show you what I'm planning and we can get to a little bit of work done on the base. Okay, let's check it out. If you accidentally start a fire, you should put it out. If you accidentally start a laser, you should rule the world. Okay, well, we really need to get to work in earnest on this big build. We need to get lots of it done, as much as we can, because they're really ready to bring that contraption in, and I definitely do not have room for it. So let's go ahead and kind of lay out a little bit of a plan for you, and you can see what I am shooting for. The first thing I wanted to do was figure out my colors, and I know I wanted lots of white and black. I kind of feel like that really works with the type of build that it is. But I wanted to throw in a few other things, so I came up with this. This is what I am planning. Now you see, it's basically a white to black to gray, but then I have this green thing going on. I think it's going to look really good. There's a reason why I'm wanting to use white on the bottom portion. This will be, the white concrete will be mainly what I am using in the flat disc area. We can look at the blueprint. Let me see if I can remember to put it up on the screen right now. So there's that large flat disc area, there's a couple of them actually, and I would like to use a lot of white concrete. And I have a reason for that. I want to place some decorations, I don't know if it's decorations, there's actually some mechanical components that we need to place across the top. And I thought it would look good with the smooth white. It would really make those things stand out. And I didn't go with the quartz because even though it's really kind of more white maybe than the white concrete, it's kind of a pinkish brown white. So I decided to go with the white concrete because it has a little bit of a gray tint. And I really love these. What are they called? Oh, let's see, I think I have some over here. They got calcite. I really love these calcites, but they're super hard to find. You can only get them in geodes. So I'm going to use them for a little bit of decoration on the end, but you'll see I'll start using a gradient as I move further in and further up. I do also like smooth diorite more than regular, but smooth diorite has this border on it, and so you'll see the individual blocks as opposed to a full smooth area, which is what I want. So go to andesite. Something interesting here is there's a difference between deep slate and cobbled deep slate. Now, deep slate is what you see down below, but whenever you mine it out with fortune or a regular pick, you get the cobbled, and that's what you can make all the different types of deep slate with. But if you mine it out with a silk touch, you get this plain deep slate, and I think it's just enough difference that I liked it better. So I'm going to do that there. Then I have the deep slate tiles, which is a little bit darker than some of the other deep slate pieces. Black stone, and I still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to go all the way to black concrete if I'm going to stop at black stone. Why don't you leave a little something for me in the Why don't you leave a little something for me in the comments and let me know if you think that black stone is what the main middle section should look like, or if I should go all the way to black concrete. So then I come out of the black and I start going lighter again, but I'm not going to white. I'm wanting to go to green, because if you remember the egg cannon that Bebop made, this was the colors that he used, and I thought that would be really good to use something similar, because if that's what he likes, then that's what I'll use. But the interesting one here is this tuff. Now, I thought it was a terrible block when it came out. It's gray, but it has some coloring to it that's not the same gray as the rest of the grays. But you know what? It's a little green. And I thought, this is perfect. It's gonna be a perfect transition from these grays over to the green that's not mossy cobble, which is what you would normally use. So I love this. And then lots of copper, lots of decorating accents with copper blocks, really giving it that great look. Now, I believe Bebop's going to be using lots of amethyst, so I am really fascinated with a mixture of purple and green, and I think this orange helps with that transition between the two. They're very striking colors, but I think it'll work out really nicely. So the first thing I need to do is get a lot of that white area filled in that disc, and let's go ahead and do that in a bit of a time lapse, and then we can come back and talk a little bit more about what's going to be next. I don't talk often during the time lapses, but this is going to be a bit of a short one. I'm just showing you part of the circle. But I wanted to talk about this one because this was a little tricky for me. I'm pretty good at doing mixed blocks in a build, but a gradient is something kind of new for me. I'm trying this out, I'm trying different things. You see, I keep extending it. I'm doing a mixture and a gradient, and that's not really kind of working, and I keep going through and fixing it. And you'll find that happens when you're working on your build, when you're doing something new. And this was definitely new for me, so I think it turned out pretty good, and I'm pretty proud of it, so I hope you like it. Alright, here we go! Oh man, I really love how this turned out. You see, I continued the outer section just like I showed you, and then I started working on the inner section and doing more gradient work to the darker areas. It's a little difficult to do this circle with a gradient that's not just a solid line, you know? But I really love how it turned out. I have a lot of plans of things I kind of want to put on the top of it, so it's not going to end up looking exactly like this. But I think this is a really great canvas to work on the next section. You can see here the areas that we worked on. The outer and inner circles are what we have done. I do have a plan, I believe, for something to go in the middle there, but it's going to kind of depend on the device that Bebop and his friends are making. So I'll have to see what happens there. And the outer section, I have some farms I want to make. And I think it'll be really cool to put those farms in there. The farms I need to make are needed to actually build the build. So I thought that would be a really good way of incorporating everything together. But I gotta tell you, this turned out better than I could have hoped. I'm really proud of it. So now that this is done, I think it's time to move on to the next stuff. I'm not entirely sure what I want to work on next, but I think it's going to involve a really deep hole. Well, alright, I think that's about all I have time for today. It's a little bit shorter of an episode, but there was a lot of building and really a lot of resource gathering involved in all this. So I'm going to have to say goodbye today, and I really thank you all for joining me. If you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to let me know, or if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments, and I'd love to hear from you. All right, thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you soon. Bye!